Right now on Good Morning Northwest, the victim in the fatal shooting at a fast food restaurant in Ellensburg has now been identified. And some Ellensburg residents are skeptical about the effectiveness of proposed changes to Craig's Hill. Plus, meteorologist Tiffany Savona has your full weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica DeLal. The time is 5 a.m. on Tuesday, March 19th. Let's check in right away on your forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona. And Tiffany, are we getting more high 70s or mid 70s?
Yeah, mid to upper 70s once again, Jessica. Record warmth is certainly going to be possible in some locations today. In fact, yesterday we actually tied the old record of 72 in Walla Walla, tied the old record of 75 in Hermiston. We were just below the record in Tri-Cities and Yakima, but it was a beautiful day and we're expecting more of the same today. In fact, temperatures should be a degree or two higher than yesterday. Right now, all is quiet. Official sunrise at 7 o'clock this morning in 2 hours. Temperatures have dropped into the upper 30s and lower 40s. 39 in the Tri-Cities, 38 in Yakima, 47 in Walla Walla, 44 in Dayton, and 41 degrees in Prosser. So it's another chilly start, but we're going to warm up pretty quickly. In Yakima, we'll be in the middle 60s by lunchtime. 76 for a high temperature today. I think we will break that old record of 77 today in the Tri-Cities. We're forecasting 78. And Walla Walla, we're looking at temperatures rising into the middle 70s later on today. Today will be the warmest day of the week, and then our cooling trend begins starting tomorrow. We'll break down that temperature swing coming up in a bit. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And the Kittitas County coroner has released the identity of a young man fatally shot on Friday outside a fast food restaurant in Ellensburg. The victim was 21-year-old Christian Guthrie, an Ellensburg resident who suffered more than one gunshot wound and died at KVH Hospital. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of the 17-year-old boy suspected of killing Guthrie. And according to police, the suspect and victim knew each other, and this does not appear to be a random act of violence. The coroner says an autopsy is scheduled for this morning.
We'll recover the bullets during the autopsy, and that'll tell us what kind of gun it was. But he was shot twice.
The 17-year-old is still at large despite a large-scale search involving multiple local law enforcement agencies. Police have set up a tip line encouraging anybody with information to call 509-517-6265 and leave a voicemail with their tip or submit an anonymous tip on their website. A former Yakima police officer has been arrested after an alleged domestic violence incident early yesterday evening. According to Yakima PD, Yakima police officers were dispatched for a domestic violence report in the area of 74th and Summit View. Police say that officers were advised there was a firearm involved in the altercation. Officers arrived and arrested a 52-year-old man on multiple charges. The suspect left the Yakima Police Department in September of 2022. And Yakima County is reporting the death of another inmate at the Yakima County Jail. It's the second death at their facility in less than a week. According to the Yakima County Department of Corrections, Melissa Gardy was found unresponsive in her cell on March 14th, just before 6 p.m. The call for help went out shortly after, but Gardy was declared dead at 6:43 p.m. Authorities said she had been in the jail since June 4th, 2023. And according to the Department of Corrections, the death was unexpected and the Yakima Police Department was called to begin the investigation. The Yakima County Department of Corrections is also doing its own investigation. And the Walla Walla Fire Department made quick work of a fire at Nelson Irrigation Sunday. Shortly before 9 p.m., fire crews answered a call from employees at Nelson Irrigation reporting a piece of machinery was on fire. Employees said they had tried to put out the fire by using a fire extinguisher, but the flames continued to grow out of control. Firefighters say when they arrived, one piece of machinery was on fire, and crews went to work putting out the fire, and it was out shortly after 9 p.m.
Fire can grow pretty fast and pretty rapidly, so for them to get there as quick as they possibly can, we kept the fire at a small size actually. It looked like about the size of an SUV inside of a stadium really once we got there. So they were able to put it out quickly. There was still a lot of smoke within the structure that we ventilated, but really we kept the fire damage at a minimum compared to what it could have been.
Nobody was hurt, and fire officials said it appeared the fire started due to an overheated hydraulic pump. The damage to the machinery is estimated to be $100,000. Erosion over time on Craig's Hill is causing rocks and sediment to fall from the slope onto the access road to the Kittitas County Fairgrounds. City staff say they've pared the master plan to address the erosion down to the bare minimum. Things like adding retaining walls, a paved pathway along the cliffside, also restrooms and viewing areas, plus ensuring there's no loss of parking for the nearby American Legion. But there's been a mixed reaction to these proposed changes. If the council votes to move forward, park staff will start the next phase of development and design. If not, they'll choose a new direction.
Whether to go back to the drawing board and try to come up with a different plan, or if this is something that they are not going to pursue at this, that's going to be left up to the council's discretion.
The council vote took place last night. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell will have the full details later this morning on Apple Valley News Now. And the city of Yakima successfully defended its best tasting water title as it recently took first place in the 2024 Central Washington Best Tasting Water Contest. Entries in this year's competition included Richland, Pasco, Kennewick, Walla Walla, Yakima, and the Nob Hill Water Association. The city of Yakima now advances to the next part of the contest, which is held in Spokane on May 1st through the 3rd. Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a new medical report shows abortions rose in the first full year post-Dobbs, suggesting the focus on access or lack thereof since then could be why. Looking outside, temperature is 39 degrees. It's still dark out there. It's going to get lighter later on this morning. We'll tell you the sunrise time later on, and we'll be back with more headlines right after this.
You work hard for your money, and now you can get money back on state taxes you already paid with the Washington State Working Families Tax Credit. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
When you get hurt on the job, you never know if you're going to get paid by Labor and Industries. Let Bothwell and Hamill fight on your behalf for your workers' comp. We can often increase your compensation. The sooner you call us, the better. If you were hurt at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411 for a free consultation. Bothwell and Hamill.
The Honda you want is here, so drive in the moment with the versatile CR-V or Accord. Both named a Car and Driver 10 Best. And when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2023 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Why do you Goodwill? Well, there are countless reasons.
Goodwill makes it easy to support my ongoing creative projects at home with their affordable items.
To be environmentally friendly through upcycling, reusing, and recycling.
For the chance to uncover brand new items at unbelievable prices.
Goodwill means being economical with my money.
With hundreds of reasons to shop at Goodwill, you can feel great about knowing 95.7 cents of every dollar you spend helps your community. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
When a rookie stunt driver meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all.
Again.
There's bound to be action. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad, so you better act fast. Don't miss your chance to drive away in a new Nissan.
Let's roll.
Hurry into the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Get 1.9% financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue, or get 2.9% financing for 36 months on Frontier.
Are you an experienced machinist? We have a job for you. Pasco Machine is hiring now. We offer generous wages, overtime, double time, full medical, paid holidays, and 4-day work schedule. Apply online today at pascomachine.com.
How does free college or training sound? It's possible. Washington College Grant gives eligible people money for certificate programs, job training, apprenticeships, or college. Learn more at wagrant.org. That's wagrant.org.
Take advantage of the tax credits you can, including the annual Washington State Working Families Tax Credit. You can get money back on state taxes already paid. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In health news across the country, state bans and restrictions seek to decrease the level of abortions. But two new reports suggest the increased focus on access might be contributing to a rise. Amy Kiley has more.
A report out today indicates more than 1 million abortions happened last year. That marks the highest rate in over a decade. It's from a sexual and reproductive rights think tank and indicates a 10% climb between 2020 and last year. That's despite the Supreme Court Dobbs decision falling in between. The Guttmacher Institute attributes the jump to a greater focus on increasing access.
We've seen nearly 100% increase in patients coming here from outside of our state.
Given state bans, some patients travel for an abortion, others don't even leave home. A second Guttmacher report posted today indicates medication accounted for almost 2/3 of abortions last year. In some states, the pills are available by mail without visiting a clinic, but that could change. Several physicians are suing the FDA over the abortion drug mifepristone. They allege the agency ignored safeguards when making it easier to get. That case is pending in the Supreme Court, which accepted it last year.
The safety profile on this drug is good, if not better, than when it was originally reviewed.
Meanwhile, abortion battles continue at the state and federal level and on the campaign trail. Here's President Joe Biden speaking yesterday when signing an executive order on women's health.
Those bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade have no clue about the power of women.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
In related news, online sales for the U.S.'s first over-the-counter birth control pills started yesterday. And the Washington State Department of Health released new guidelines Monday on what people should do if they're sick with an upper respiratory virus. They're recommending that people can return to normal activities once their symptoms start improving and their fever has been gone for at least 24 hours. COVID-19 can be contagious for 5 to 10 days after getting sick. The flu can be contagious for 5 to 7 days, and RSV can be contagious for 3 to 8 days. So you can still be contagious even if you start to feel better. So the Department of Health recommends taking extra precautions for 5 days after returning to normal activities. Those consist of wearing a mask, improve the airflow and filtration in your home, wash your hands and clean surfaces frequently. Also physical distancing and get tested, especially if you're going to be working indoors with others. And to protect high-risk people, DOH says to stay away from them for 10 days after your symptoms start or for 10 days after testing positive for COVID or until getting a negative COVID result. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is warning about a global uptick in measles. This health alert comes as the spring and summer travel season kicks off. The CDC is calling on doctors to encourage vaccinations, especially for children traveling internationally. The U.S. eliminated measles as an endemic, but some imported cases are seen annually. So far this year, there have been 58 cases in 17 jurisdictions. Among the states where measles has been reported, Arizona, Florida, California, and Pennsylvania. And the Environmental Protection Agency announced a ban yesterday on the last form of asbestos used in the United States. The new rule outlaws a type of asbestos used in car parts like aftermarket brakes. Asbestos has long been linked to cancer, while America's use of asbestos has been decreasing for decades. Exposure to asbestos has been linked to more than 40,000 deaths across the country. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, the city of Pasco is getting ready to launch a new community initiative that lets residents try their hand at gardening. Riley Fitzgerald tells us all about it next. And temperature is 39 degrees, chilly out there. That sunrise this morning is at 7 a.m. Meteorologist Tiffany Savona will have more in that first Alert Full forecast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Time for a new roof? Let M&M Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let M&M Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Danny was rear-ended by a semi-truck. Serious injuries.
The back end was in the back seat. There was nothing left of the rear.
Danny was in pain, and the insurance company was giving him the runaround.
Mariano's reputation and experience gave him an advantage over the insurance company that I didn't have. I felt very comforted. I felt like I was going to be taken care of, that I didn't have to worry about it.
The insurance company couldn't run around me, and Daniel got paid a lot.
He lives up to his reputation, which is somebody who gets results.
Call 853-2222.
I've been with US Cellular for years now, and I think I'm their biggest fan. So they asked me to tell you about their special customer event, Us Days. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers, like up to $1,200 to upgrade to any new phone. So I said, if I'm going to be on TV, do you think I can get hair and makeup? And I even got a manicure, too.
Introducing Us Days at US Cellular. Exclusive offers just for our customers. Get up to $1,200 to upgrade to any new phone.
You're going to Hollywood.
Watch Sunday night at 8 on Apple Valley News Now. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health, your 5-star rated hospital. This is how we care.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $1,600 off on a new Daikin Fit system and thermostat when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
The average cost of hearing aids is nearly $5,000, but now you can buy a full pair of rechargeable, wireless, nearly invisible, easy to use, and comfortable hearing devices for only $99, but only from Audient.
It's easy to use.
They're small.
A pair of $99 Audient Atoms can be sold over the phone without having to see a doctor or audiologist. Call to order.
1-800-617-3809.
Want free college or career training? It's possible. Go to wogrant.org.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Happy first day of spring, everyone. Spring technically doesn't arrive until 8:06 tonight, but it's still the first day, and tomorrow will be the first full day of spring, and it certainly feels like springtime here across the Columbia Basin. And with spring and the warmer weather comes the allergies. And we do have pollen levels that are going to be in that medium to high category today and tomorrow. They go up a little bit more Thursday and Friday, and then those pollen counts start to come down a little bit as rain chances increase this upcoming weekend. So if you're allergic to tree pollen, you may want to limit your time outside today if your allergies start bothering you, and have those medications ready to go. Otherwise, you're going to want to stay outside for as long as possible today. It's going to be another gorgeous afternoon. A little bit on the chilly side this morning as expected. 39 in Tri-Cities, 41 in Connell, 47 Walla Walla. We're at 44 in Dayton and 38 degrees in Yakima. Winds are light. Winds are going to stay light today. Not much going on weather-wise. We still have that area of high pressure in control, and you can see all the clouds riding to our north and then falling south to our east, and that is in the direction of that ridge of high pressure. So you can see today, high pressure still in control. It's going to be the warmest day of the week. I think we'll break records in some locations, just like we did yesterday. Tomorrow, that high shifts a little bit farther south. So our cooling trend begins tomorrow, but it's still going to be a really nice day. But notice that area of low pressure offshore. That will start to impact some of the coastal areas of Washington and Oregon, and possibly the higher elevations to our east. So we're going to keep it dry on Thursday. However, areas along the foothills of the Blues may see a spotty shower. So today, here are the high temperatures, at least the forecast. 78 in Tri-City, 77 Hermiston, 74 Walla Walla, 76 in Yakima. This is a degree or two higher than yesterday's forecast. And here are the records to beat. We're forecasting 78 in Tri-Cities. The record is 77. I think we're going to do it today. Set back in 1934, and that is an old standing record to beat. Yakima, we're forecasting 76. Old record 78. 74 is the forecast in Walla Walla. We'll probably break that record since the old one is 71. And in Hermiston, we're forecasting 77. That record high of 80 will probably remain on the safe side. Tonight, we drop down into the low and middle 40s. It's going to be another chilly night, but our overnight lows continue to trend upwards over the next coming days. And then tomorrow, the cooling trend begins, but it's still not bad. We're still talking about warm weather, at least when you compare it to our average high of 60, 72 in the Tri-Cities, 71 in Hermiston, 70 Walla Walla, and 69 in Yakima. 7-day forecast showing that we're back down into the mid and upper 60s Thursday, Friday with more clouds. Friday, a slight chance for a few showers late, and then better chances for rain this upcoming weekend when temperatures dropping into the 50s. Yakima 76 today. We drop below 70 tomorrow, but still nice. 64 on Thursday. We have that chance for a few showers on Friday. Walla Walla, we bring in that slight chance for a shower or two Thursday. Same story for Hermiston, and then those rain chances going up as we head into the upcoming weekend. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And spring officially begins today, as Tiffany was mentioning, and people interested in embracing their green thumbs have a chance to do that in Pasco this spring. Riley Fitzgerald joins us live in studio this morning. Good morning, Riley. So how can people get involved if they're interested in one of the City of Pasco's community garden beds?
Yes, good morning, Jessica. The City of Pasco's community garden program is currently getting ready near Kurtzman and Palomino parks. Both parks are in close proximity to apartment complexes or spaces where people may not be able to have their own gardens. Recreation Services Manager Brent Kubalik says there are some spots open, but they do fill up quickly.
We have our regular repeats coming back every year. Again, like I said, there's the apartment complex right by there, and a lot of them, they love that opportunity and come back year after year. We do have some open spots every year for new people, but most years the beds fill up.
The community gardens at Kurtzman Park have been around for about a decade now, and this is the second year people have been able to use the gated gardens at Palomino Park. Kubalik
When
says,
you sign up, we have a garden kickoff meeting, so we invite everybody to come out. You get assigned which garden is yours. They're numbered garden beds. They're about 4x8, 4x10 section, and then we check out a key to you for the gate.
And that event is happening on the last day of this month. Registration is open now. Find out how to get involved on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. In studio, I'm Riley Fitzgerald. Jessica, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Riley. And when we return on Good Morning Northwest, a scary moment and high-stakes rescue on Mount Hood after a mountain climber was hit in the head by falling ice. We have the full story next.
Have you ever had a day like this? Bad days are why we got in the game. Capuzza Lighty, Accident Injury Lawyers.
Our goal is to be in this community in 50 years, in 100 years. We're here to take care of this community that's taking such good care of our family. That's why we fully inspect our vehicles and certify everything, because it's just the right thing to do. It is kind of at the core of who we are, that we don't miss anything, that we catch every little detail. We have our customers' lives in our hands, so if they miss something, I mean, it's a huge deal. And so I give that speech to kind of every technician that comes through our door so they understand how important their job is. The most important part of our certified process is the fact that you get full transparency. We're here to make sure that our customers feel confident and comfortable with the decisions they're making. Buying pre-owned with McCurley means your vehicle meets a higher standard.
Find your way home in a Subaru certified pre-owned vehicle from McCurley Subaru.
You're looking at some real Jack-in-the-Box haters. Yeah, they exist. They have no idea they're about to try my new Smash Jack.
This is good.
It's very fresh.
I like that sauce. I'm a saucy woman. Probably not the best.
Not the best. She came in a white sedan. Tow it.
Almost like a flavor bomb. I don't think it's a fast food hamburger.
This is more like homemade.
It's me!
Oh, shoot, Jack!
If this is your new burger,
Yeah.
I'm going to you.
Say hello to the best-rated burger in fast food.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Good news. For years, Washington Realtors embraced some of the most consumer-friendly practices in the nation, putting fairness and transparency at the heart of the home buying process, providing clients with the duties of their real estate broker in the transaction, along with a written agreement explaining the cost of brokerage services, and receiving and signing this agreement up front. Now, these principles are not just industry standard, they're state law. Transparency in real estate, brought to you by Washington Realtors. Is your broker a realtor?
Welcome to Premier Woodworks, your premier source for custom cabinetry and full-service interior design. Our custom designs are brought to life with 3D images to help you visualize the final result. Our high-quality cabinetry is crafted with care and attention to detail. From kitchen and bath design to remodel project management, we're here to make your dream space a reality. Premier Woodworks, located at 109 North Washington Street in Kennewick.
The Centennial Trail. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. A 43-year-old mountain climber is alive thanks to fellow climbers and rescuers. The woman was struck in the head by falling ice Saturday afternoon while descending Mount Hood near Portland, Oregon. Others on the mountain called 911 and used their own gear to keep her warm for hours. Rescuers then used a complex set of rope systems to move her across the Mount Hood crater. They then lowered her down. She finally made it to the bottom at 3 a.m. the next day and was taken to the hospital. Authorities say warm spells can cause ice to melt and fall, and climbers should avoid traversing the mountain in the afternoons early in the season when temperatures can warm up. I'm glad she's safe. And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, former President Trump is facing new backlash for comments saying that Liz Cheney and the January 6th committee should be jailed. Also, another government shutdown is looming once again as Congress is feeling the pressure to get a deal done before Friday's deadline.
In today's Tech Bites, new rules for AI on YouTube. Creators must now indicate whether uploaded, realistic-looking videos depict altered or synthetic media. Now, the goal is to flag items that could easily be mistaken for a real person, place, or event. Apple is reportedly in talks with Google to bring the company's Gemini AI technology to the iPhone. Apple is also considering a possible partnership with ChatGPT. The AI features could be built into Apple products as early as this year. In January, Samsung added a series of AI-branded features to some of its Galaxy smartphones. Finally, Sony is reportedly pausing production of its PlayStation VR2 headset. The device launched last February as an accessory for the PlayStation 5 and cost about $550. But Bloomberg says sales are slowing due to a lack of game content. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Y'all, Wayfair makes it so easy to create a home you'll love. It's the talk of the neighborhood. Kelly, I just Wayfared. That's Wayfair, saving time, saving money. You Wayfared your whole bathroom? Even the vanity. When I Wayfair, I Wayfair. You know? Oh, I know. This is nice. Another Wayfair day.
You know it. New couch in just 2 days.
The Wayfair word is out. Wayfair, you've got just what I need. I've always wanted to do that.
Mucinex Night Shift starts working at bedtime to fight your worst nighttime symptoms. How could you? And leaves your system fast. By the time you wake up, you're ready to take on the day. Try it and feel the difference. Mucinex Night Shift. It's comeback season.
I'm adding Downy Unstoppables to my wash. Now I'll be smelling fresh all day long.
On a crowded bus.
Still fresh.
Later, she sniffs a worn sweater.
So fresh.
Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection. Try for under $5.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, former President Trump's lawyers have disclosed that he has failed to secure a roughly $500 million bond in a civil fraud case in New York a week before it comes due. And Congress is under pressure to avert another shutdown as Friday's deadline quickly approaches. Plus, meteorologist Tiffany Savona has your full weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. The time is 5:30 on Tuesday, March 19th. Let's check in right away on your forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona. And Tiffany, we're going to see some 70s today, right?
Good morning, Jessica. We are going to warm up a little bit more today. In fact, record warmth is looking likely for some locations. Let's glance back at yesterday. We didn't break a record in Yakima or Tri-Cities, but we were close. But we did tie the old record high temps in Walla Walla and Hermiston yesterday with highs in the low and middle 70s. Now this morning, the sun will rise at 7 o'clock. Remember, today is the first day of spring, so we have roughly 12 hours and about 8 minutes of daylight hours. This morning, you're going to need the jacket and the sunglasses. Once the sun rises, we'll see plenty of it today. And it is on the chilly side, temperatures in the 30s this morning. But by this afternoon, we are going to rise into the upper 70s. You could put the windows down. Some of you may even prefer the AC later on this afternoon, but open those windows in your home. Let some of that fresh air in. Today's the warmest day of the week before our cool down begins tomorrow, so we'll talk about those temperatures. I'll let you know when rain returns to the forecast coming up in a bit. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. Former President Trump is facing a possible financial crisis. He's having trouble finding the money to post bond in his civil fraud judgment. He's found liable for inflating the value of his properties to get favorable loans. A judge ordering him to post a $464 million bond, and now his lawyers are calling it a practical impossibility to raise the money. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
Former President Trump's lawyers say securing the money to pay the $464 million bond is a practical impossibility. Trump's lawyers say they're facing insurmountable difficulties after approaching more than 30 insurance companies for help and being rejected each time. The issue being Trump does not have enough cash on hand, and the insurance companies would not take his properties as collateral. Trump was found liable for fraudulently inflating the value of his properties to get favorable bank loans. Trump is appealing the ruling and has until next week to secure a bond.
We are prepared to make sure that the judgment is paid to New Yorkers.
If Trump does not find the money, New York Attorney General Letitia James could ask the court to start seizing his properties. This comes as Trump faces more backlash for his latest incendiary remarks, saying yesterday, Jews who vote Democrat should be ashamed and hate Israel. On Sunday, Trump wrote online that former Congresswoman Liz Cheney and other members of the January 6th committee should go to jail. And on Saturday at a rally in Ohio,
please rise for the horribly and unfairly treated January 6th hostages.
Trump paid tribute to those who attacked the Capitol on January 6th and used the word bloodbath when describing what would happen to the auto industry if he's not elected. Trump insisting he was not talking about political violence, saying I was simply referring to imports allowed by crooked Joe Biden, which are killing the automobile industry.
As for the Jews who vote Democrat should be ashamed statement, Biden's campaign says the only person who should be ashamed is Trump. And Biden's team is accusing Trump of having an affection for violence and a thirst for revenge. Also on Monday, the Supreme Court declined to review a ruling that removed a New Mexico official from office over the Capitol attack. The appeal to the High Court came from convicted January 6th Capitol rioter and former Otero County Commissioner Couy Griffin. Griffin, who founded the group Cowboys for Trump, was removed from office in 2022 for actions on January 6th. He was the first elected official kicked out of office under the 14th Amendment's insurrectionist ban.
They are not patriots. They are domestic terrorists who attacked the United States Capitol and intended to do great harm and resulted in the deaths and severe injuries for many people in the Capitol Police. Anyone who believes those people are patriots, anyone who believes that is completely deranged.
The Supreme Court's move means the ruling barring Griffin from office will stand. The case was similar to the one the High Court recently decided involving former President Donald Trump. The court unanimously ruled this month that Trump could not be kicked off Colorado's 2024 ballot due to his remarks before the January 6th attack. And President Joe Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for the first time in more than a month Monday. The call came during rising tensions between the two leaders over the war between Israel and Hamas. According to the White House, the leaders discussed the importance of getting more badly needed humanitarian aid into Gaza. President Biden is also believed to have raised concerns about the pending Israeli operation in Rafah, where more than 1 million Palestinian civilians have sought shelter. The phone call follows Biden's support of a speech by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who calls for new Israeli elections that could threaten Netanyahu's ouster. Schumer is the highest-ranking Jewish official in the U.S. government. The rift between the two leaders has grown in recent months due to differences related to getting humanitarian aid to Gaza, protecting civilians there, and what the future could hold for Palestinians. And lawmakers are scrambling to avoid a partial shutdown ahead of a federal government funding deadline that's just days away. Congress spent months averting shutdowns at the 11th hour with stopgap bills. It finally passed a package of 6 bills in early March to fund a slate of government agencies for the rest of the fiscal year. But a number of key government operations still need to be funded by the end of the day Friday. And that includes the Departments of Defense, Homeland Security, Labor, Health and Human Services, Education, State, and the legislative branch. Homeland Security has proven to be a particularly thorny issue in the funding fight amid partisan disagreements over border policy. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, there's been a lot of talk about the proposed 32-hour work week. When we get back, we'll take a look at a few pros and cons, as well as some countries that have already implemented the idea. Looking outside, temperature is still 39 degrees, dark outside, and that sunrise is at 7 this morning. Meteorologist Tiffany Savona will have more details in that first alertful forecast. Keep it right here.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Apple Valley Eats.
All right, so my job here is the food and beverage executive chef. I've been here 10 years. Started off here as an entry-level cook. I was given the opportunity to step into the executive chef role, which is the position that I'm in. I've been in that position for about 6 years now, almost. What I do here, I handle not so much the day-to-day operations, but everything that goes into the menu planning, the SOPs for all of the cooks, recipes, ensuring all the recipes are all the same, the consistency, the vision of the food and beverage department as far as the aesthetics, what is it going to look like, what does the food preparation look like. We have everything from catering, fast food, employee meals, which is a cafeteria style setting, and then obviously our bread and butter, what we do, a buffet here at Legends. What we like to do here is try to keep our team members happy, try to be versatile with them, try to be flexible, whatever needs that they may have, we try to accommodate. We do have childcare here on property, so if somebody needs to drop their kids off at childcare, that option's always there. You could come into our department with no experience at all, but we're gonna show you how to hold a knife, we're gonna show you how to cut vegetables, we're gonna show you how to cut meat, we're gonna show you how to use all the equipment. Is the comfort of knowing that I'm gonna have my consistent 40 hours a week. And that goes from everywhere from a dishwasher all the way up to my position. It's another benefit of working here at Legends. I like to think of it more as a career rather than a job.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Uh-oh! A Schwab fixes brakes, steering, and more.
Right now, during our spring tire sale, save up to $80 on select sets of 4 tires.
So, all of us are here to talk about trading. Right now at US Cellular, you can get a new phone without having to trade in your old one.
Trade you my PB&J for that phone.
No, kid, you don't have to trade. See, $830 off any phone at US Cellular. No trade-in needed.
You drive a hard bargain. Boom. Chocolate milk.
You don't have to trade.
I'll take the chocolate milk.
Okay.
Get $830 off any phone. No trade-in needed. US Cellular. Built for us.
You're going to Hollywood.
Watch Sunday night at 8 on Apple Valley News Now. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health, your 5-star rated hospital. This is how we care.
It's here. It's now. The Grand National RV Show at R&R RV North Spokane, March 14th through the 23rd. Shop over 140 RVs inside the West Coast's largest indoor showroom. Motorhomes, camper vans, fifth wheels, and trailers. The time to buy is now. The Grand National RV Show, March 14th through the 23rd, indoors at R&R RV North Spokane. Special show pricing, giveaways, and food vendors on site. Visit rnrrv.com.
After this woman died in lockup, should local jails do more to protect inmates? Wednesday.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. There's a push to shorten the standard U.S. work week from 40 hours to 32 hours. A bill was recently proposed in the Senate aiming to make that a reality. The UK even tested the idea and found it to be highly successful. But some critics worry a 4-day work week could hurt business. Jen Sullivan looks at the pros and cons.
How does a 4-day work week sound? Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders wants to make that a reality, proposing a bill that would cut the work week down to 32 hours without reduced pay.
The sad reality is Americans now work more hours than the people of any other wealthy nation.
In many European countries, employees have shorter work weeks. France has a federally mandated 35-hour work week. Denmark has a 37-hour work week. Belgium has adopted a 4-day work week. And the UK recently tested the idea. 61 companies did a trial run of the 4-day work week between June and December of 2022. The director of the 4-day week campaign talked about the results last fall.
It was overwhelmingly successful.
Nearly 90% of the businesses that participated in the pilot were still operating with the 4-day work week 1 year later. 31 of those companies have made the change permanent.
When workers have that 4-day week, 32 hours, no loss of pay, they come back into the workplace working much more effectively, efficiently, they're better rested, also more creative.
The program also found revenue remained the same during the trial, and in some cases even ticked up slightly. Critics, though, worry it could hurt employers and employees in the future.
They would ship those jobs overseas, or they would automate to replace those workers for whom they have an increased expense, or they would dramatically increase prices to make this stay afloat.
Some unions support the bill, but it's unlikely to pass in the Senate. I'm Jen Sullivan.
The 40-hour work week was established in 1940, which is another reason why Senator Sanders says it's time for some change. And a new study seeks to answer a major question that affects homeowners in our area. If a wind turbine goes up near your home, will that impact my home value? After looking at 300 million home sales and 60,000 wind turbines, researchers found that homes within 5 miles of a turbine tend to drop about 1% in value. But there are a few things to keep in mind. Firstly, closer homes tend to experience a greater drop in value, so it really depends on just how close you are. Although if the view of the turbine is blocked, there's less of a drop. We spoke with the Tri-Cities realtor about the study.
Well, I know it's certainly been a controversial topic in our area. Anything that could affect the view of a property, that could certainly affect the value. The windmills have really bright flashing lights, and I'm sure that could have an effect on a homeowner's property value.
Another factor is how long the turbine has been there. After about 10 years, the devaluation disappears almost entirely. Researchers also found the negative impact was more of a problem in the 1990s. These days, it does not seem to exist much, if at all. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the early onset of spring is taking its toll as the changing weather impacts everything from animals to allergies, and I am definitely feeling those allergies this morning, and we'll tell you more about this next. Looking outside, temperature is still the same, 39 degrees, still chilly out there, but it will get warmer later. Meteorologist Tiffany Savona will tell us just how warm in that first alertful forecast. That is up next.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Hello, Shelby.
Hello, Mariano.
Upload Mrs. Robinson's case.
Processing.
Is there any new information?
The insurance offer is too low. Should I ask for more?
You know, when they hear from the heavy hitter, they'll pay much more.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
With Dish, get the same TV bill every month for 2 years.
Hello? Oh God, I think someone's coming.
No price hikes, no surprises. Because surprising TV shows are great. Surprising TV bills, not great.
Let's get you some fresh water.
The 2-year TV price guarantee from Dish. Tuned in to you.
Time for a new roof? Let M&M Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency.
Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
It's the wall-to-wall sale at Furniture Row, and that means every sofa, dining table, and bed is on sale. Find sofas with clean contemporary styling to laid-back premium comfort, dining tables with rustic farmhouse charm, to sophisticated polished marble tops, beds with retro industrial style, and two-tone cottage charm. Save up to 50% on select Temper-Adapt mattresses, plus 5 years no-interest financing. Shop today and save during the wall-to-wall sale, only at Furniture Row.
Looking for a car with more room for adventure? Make your presence known when you drive away in a new 2024 Kia Sportage LX with all-wheel drive from Overturf Kia. You'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock, now $29,790. Plus, get 4.99% interest for up to 72 months. Take delivery today or reserve a car that's on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Let's get scratching. Let's get scratching.
Hello, Shelby.
Hello, Mariano.
Upload Mrs. Robinson's case.
Processing.
Is there any new information?
The insurance offer is too low. Should I ask for more?
You know, when they hear from the heavy hitter, they'll pay much more.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Happy spring, everyone. Spring officially begins at 8:06 tonight. It's also what we call the vernal equinox. It's when the sun's direct rays hit the equator. So we have about equal day and equal night. We have about 12 hours, 8 minutes of daylight today. And we're actually adding about 3 minutes of daylight every single day. Now, the average high and low for the Tri-Cities today, 60 and 34. And we're going to be well above average today, about a degree or two warmer compared to yesterday. So if you enjoyed yesterday, you'll certainly like the weather today as well. Jessica mentioned her allergies bothering her, and some of you that are allergic to tree pollen are probably experiencing the same symptoms, as the pollen count for tree pollen is in that medium to high range today and tomorrow, forecasted to get even higher Thursday and Friday, and then start to come down a bit with our rain chances increasing this upcoming weekend. So take it easy out there if you're allergic to tree pollen, and have those medications ready to go. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s this morning. It's a chilly start, but not too terribly cold. It's 39 in Tri-Cities, 39 in Hermiston, 45 in Pendleton, 47 Walla Walla, and we're at 38 degrees in Yakima. Winds are light this morning. They'll stay light today. That ridge of high pressure still in control of our weather. In fact, today will likely be the warmest day of the week and will likely break record highs in some locations. Now, that area of high pressure starts to shift south tomorrow, so the cooling trend begins, but we're only going to be a little bit cooler. It's still going to be a rather nice day. Now, on Thursday, you can see that area of low pressure. It's an upper level storm system, will move toward us, bringing some rain to the coastal areas and some of the higher elevations, but I think we're going to remain dry on Thursday before those rain chances return Friday. So for today, we're forecasting highs in the mid to upper 70s, and let's talk about those potential record-breaking highs. So we're forecasting 78 in Tri-Cities today. The record to beat is 77, set back in 1934. So I think we'll do it. Yakima, 76. The record to beat, 78. We'll probably stay just below that. Walla Walla, 74. We have a pretty good chance of breaking that record of 71, set back in 1960. And Hermiston, you tied the record high yesterday. I think we'll likely remain below records today with that record at 80 degrees, and we're forecasting 77. But either way you slice it, it's going to be a very warm Tuesday afternoon. Try to get outside and enjoy it while it lasts. Tonight we have another opportunity to view the ISS, the International Space Station. Now, we should be mainly clear, but the ISS is going to be rather low in the sky. So depending on where you live, whether you see it or not. So you want to check it out today at 8:18 after sunset. Duration of the pass will be 6 minutes. Again, it'll only be at a 40-degree maximum height above the horizon, and it'll start off in the western sky and move to the north and east. So here's your 7-day forecast. We're cooler tomorrow, but 72 in the Tri-Cities, not bad. 69 tomorrow in Yakima. And then we're looking at 60s area-wide Thursday, Friday, with better chances for rain as we head into the upcoming weekend. Walla Walla today, 74, 70 tomorrow. 60s return Thursday with a slight chance for rain. And the best chance for rain for everyone will be Saturday and Sunday. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And Tiffany was just mentioning that spring arrives tonight, but in many parts of the country, it feels like spring already sprung weeks ago. The shifting start of the season is causing a host of new problems, from more bugs and bears to more pain for allergy sufferers like myself. ABC's Lionel Moise has more.
The calendar says spring arrives tonight, but from the deep south to the upper Midwest, it feels like spring really sprung weeks ago. This winter was the warmest on record for the lower 48 states. Average temperatures in Wisconsin were nearly 10 degrees above normal. The deep red areas on this map show where plants sprouted their leaves up to 3 weeks earlier than normal. The cherry blossoms in Washington have already hit peak bloom 2 weeks earlier than normal. While most of us welcome the sun and the flowers, an early spring comes with consequences.
We've had a really warm winter and spring, and that's really kicking off our pollen season into a frenzy quite early.
Nearly every region of the country could now see a more intense allergy season.
Earlier and longer pollen seasons are something we need to prepare for. This is something that climate change is going to keep driving in coming years.
From pollen in the air to smoke, this year Texas has already seen its largest wildfire on record. Officials as far north as Minnesota are already warning of a high risk for fires. Part of the problem, the lack of snow, adding to drought and water supply concerns in parts of the country. Maple syrup producers also forced to make changes, tapping trees as early as January. The earlier spring also impacting wildlife.
It is certainly strange in the beginning of February to see so many bears out.
Bears have been waking up from their hibernations earlier. People have already been warned to secure their trash and bird feeders.
Experts say late winter and spring are the times of year seeing the most dramatic climate change. El Nino is also a factor this year. And when we return on Good Morning Northwest, we're coming up on the first day of spring, and while that means milder weather in our area, in other parts of the country, it means bugs and lots of bugs.
A rookie stunt driver.
Again.
Will prove he's got what it takes in this year's most exciting Nissan sales event. Hurry into the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Get 1.9% financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
If it was my family, I'd want to make sure they get all the information they need to make the best decision. That's why we fully inspect our vehicles and certify everything. With McCurley Certified and Certified Plus, we look at everything from the tires to the maintenance records to recalls to any open campaigns. We make sure the vehicle is completely safe. The only vehicles we sell are ones that are completely inspected. McCurley Certified means your vehicle meets a higher standard.
Find your way home in a Subaru certified pre-owned vehicle from McCurley Subaru.
To see if you qualify for Hanford worker compensation, please call Smart Law for a free consultation at 1-877-630-1122. Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses, including neurological, respiratory and heart conditions, cancers, and beryllium-related disorders. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Call Smart Law at 1-877-630-1122 for Hanford worker compensation. Smart Law in Yakima and Tri-Cities.
When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves the Kubota Z400. When you need a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, durability, simple deck height adjustments, and a professional-grade cut, then you need the Kubota Z400 mower. Now get the Z400 mower for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months or save $300.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Come aboard Water to Wine Cruises. Our unique weekend brunch cruise offers delicious dishes by our chefs as you take in beautiful views of the river. Start the morning off right and visit watertowinecruises.com to book your brunch today.
Stay calm and nobody will be hurt.
The 911 premiere that left us breathless continues Thursday.
You hear that?
911 is on ABC Thursday. A rookie stunt driver
Again.
will prove he's got what it takes in this year's most exciting Nissan sales event. Hurry into the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Get 1.9% financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
A biker's and hikers' paradise on Fly the Northwest tonight.
Good morning. It's not quite as cold this morning compared to yesterday morning. We're talking about upper 30s and low to middle 40s out there across the region. And today will be a degree or two warmer than yesterday. It's going to feel more like the middle of May with highs around 76 in Yakima, 77 in Toppenish, 71 Ellensburg, 76 Sunnyside. I think we'll break the old record in Tri-Cities. I think we should get up to around 78, 77 in Hermiston, 76 Prosser, 73 Moses Lake, 73 in Connell. And along the foothills of the Blues, we're looking at middle 70s. Not a bad afternoon, 73 in Dayton, 74 in Walla Walla. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. If you're not a fan of giant flying insects, it may soon feel like the end of the world as we know it, but only if you live in certain parts of the country. Here's ABC's Danny New with more.
Ah, spring. The birds are back, the flowers are back. But for the first time in centuries, billions of cicadas are also about to be back. Yay.
17 and 13 doesn't overlap too often.
As entomologist Dr. Frank Krell was alluding to there, in a few weeks, the brood of cicadas that emerges every 13 years and the brood that emerges every 17 years are going to pop out of the ground at the same time, which last happened in 1803.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Some are even calling this spring and summer the cicada apocalypse.
What should we do when there are millions of them here all of a sudden?
Oh, just enjoying them. Or going away if we don't enjoy them. They are not harmful.
Well, they may not be that harmful, but cicadas are still quite the loud neighbor for the 4 to 6 weeks that they move into your backyard. Some cicadas can even reach over 100 decibels.
Why are cicadas so loud? What are they talking about?
They are talking about girls.
Yes, according to Dr. Frank, we're just going to have billions of males audibly competing with each other to grab the attention of the female cicadas.
When they come out, they have to be quick. Before they get eaten, they have to find a mate and mate.
Now, to be clear, it's mostly the 13-year cicadas impacting the South and Appalachia, while the 17-year cicadas hit the Midwest.
The Bears.
The Bears. But in states like Illinois, they might get both in the same forests. Sorry,